Welcome back, everyone. Today we are going to learn one-point perspective. And I know that some of my students have learned it before in previous years, usually doing buildings, but this time we're going to do the interior of a room. So we're actually going to be interior designers. So what I want everyone to do is start somewhere in the middle of your paper. And if you have a ruler, great. If not, just try to do the same length of line, and it doesn't have to be perfectly in the middle. I'm going to do mine a little off center, and I'm measuring 3 inches long. So we want to get a perfect square. There we go. And then somewhere in the middle of your square, I want you to do a dot. This is going to be our vanishing point. So the vanishing point means every angle is going back to that point. If we were doing the buildings and the road that goes back into the distance, it all goes back and vanishes to that point. For the interior of a room though, all of the furniture is going to be pointing back to that dot. So first we're gonna make some light lines from the dot to each corner of the box. And we're gonna go straight out to the end of our paper. So don't worry about lining it up with the corner of your paper, just the corner of the square. This is not the best ruler, but it's the only one I got. All right, from there, I want you guys to kind of visualize what we have. So this square is actually the back wall of our bedroom or whichever room you're drawing. And then we have the 2 side walls and then our ceiling. So these extra lines inside the box, we can actually erase. Since everyone is at home right now, I thought it would be cool to imagine what your dream bedroom could be. So that's what I want you guys to think about when you're drawing this. So first thing is that we need a bed for our bedroom. So we're gonna start on one of the sides, doesn't matter what. I'm gonna start on this side. And I'm gonna make sure my ruler is perfectly vertical. So the side of my paper should be the same parallel. So I'm gonna do a little line like this from somewhere on that line. And then I'm gonna draw a line perfectly horizontal. So I want a perfect rectangle out of this. So use the bottom edge of your paper to make sure that's perfectly horizontal. And you can use the line on your box too to help you. All right, so I have my rectangle and I can erase any lines inside of that. So this is the end of our bed. We want our bed to go back that way because it goes against the side of our wall. So I'm gonna line up the corner of my rectangle with the vanishing point. And I'm gonna go all the way back. And I'm gonna do that for all corners except for that one. All right, so right now it's just a box that goes all the way back and vanishes to that point, but we don't want that to actually happen. We want our bed to kind of stop at the back wall. So at this line where it touches that line, we're gonna actually draw it straight across and stop there. So do you see how that is a rectangle? We want this to be kind of a rectangle too. So the side there needs to be straight down. And we have our bed. So I'm gonna erase the lines that we don't need. And then our bed is not see-through, so we're going to erase the lines that go inside of it too. So next you need to think about where do you want your door and maybe a window in your room. So those are very similar when you start making them. So I think I want my door maybe over here and my window next to my bed. So let's start with the door because it's the simplest. So I'm going to start with a line, vertical, line it up with the edge of your paper. We're going to go straight up, and we need one more. The second line should be shorter. Whatever's furthest away from the dot should always be the longer line. So we're going to go ahead and line this up, and I might have to make my second line a little bit longer. And we're going to make the top of the door angled to the vanishing point. And I'm going to connect that. So there's my door, and I can draw a little door handle. And then I want to do my window almost the same. So always start with the sides that are vertical. And I think I want a pretty large window. The tops and bottoms of the window are going to be angled to the vanishing point. And then we can erase the excess that we don't need. Awesome. And then if you want to add a window pane, the one that goes across is going to be tilted towards the vanishing point. And then the one that goes up and down is going to be perfectly vertical. So now you need to think of what else do you want in your awesome bedroom. I think I want a cool rug that comes from underneath my bed. So I'm gonna draw my rug starting underneath my bed. And it's gonna end right at the end of my bed. So I'm drawing 2 horizontal lines. And then when I connect the sides, it's going to my vanishing point. So hopefully you can see that every section is kind of the same. Whatever line is going either vertical or horizontal should be perfectly vertical or horizontal. The other lines are always going to the vanishing point. So there's my rug, and I can think of a cool pattern that I might want on it. Some fringe. All right, and then I think I want to do a little side table for my bed. So I'm going to draw a line here. And another line here. And when I connect the top of my table, the sides should be angled. And then the front should be actually a perfect rectangle. Sometimes I get lost in my drawing and don't always use a ruler, but the rulers really help. So I'm going to draw my little legs. And then the back legs are kind of hidden. And maybe they're shaded in because they're dark. So there's our little side table, and you can put really whatever you want on it. Maybe we have a backboard, so that is gonna look something like this. And I think I'm gonna add some details to my bed. So I'm gonna erase this area here and put a pillow. And then I'm gonna actually draw a comforter. So on the side it should be straight, but the comforter is more of an organic shape. So I'm gonna do it kind of wavy, and it's gonna come, and maybe it won't cover the entire end of this. So I'm gonna draw a little wave here. And I'm gonna erase this line, but I'm gonna redraw it so it isn't as harsh of a line. So maybe I want this curved a little. So there we go. And you could even draw a design on your bed comforter. And you can draw another sheet too if you want. Hopefully you guys are making your bed every day. All right, and maybe I want some cool little shelves to put some plants on my wall. So the first thing I'm gonna do is draw 3 little squares. So these are perfect little squares. And now when I do this side, it's gonna angle to the dot. So when you get to the end here, I know it's kind of hard to see, but you're just gonna go perfectly horizontal on the top and then straight down. Try and mimic that square. You can even redraw the square on the end and then erase the inside. All right, so we have some little shelves, and then if I want to put a little plant on here, make sure whatever's on here is straight vertical lines. All right guys, so this is the final product. I went ahead and did some other details for mine, but I want you guys to really be creative and make your own details and see how crazy of a dream bedroom you can make. Have fun.